You're now listening to N21FM, a Pokemon podcast. Welcome to episode 50. I'm your host, Glenn, joined as always by my wonderful co-host, Johnny. How you doing today, Johnny? You doing well?
Doing good. Yeah. Happy to be here. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. How was
It
your holidays?
has. It was wonderful. I was just getting ready to ask you the same. We
Oh man.
have been gone, so welcome, first of all, to the show. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Johnny, for your time. It's great to see you today. The last time we recorded was the 23rd, if I'm not mistaken, or was it the 16th? It's been a while. We
It's
took
been
the
a
holiday
minute.
off. We took
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving off for the viewers at home, as you guys should know, and it was a busy one. Holy smokes! To get
Mm-hmm.
it, just to start, a couple things have happened. So I decorated our living room. We have a Christmas tree for the first time ever. That's above like a foot tall,
Nice.
which is scary
Nice.
because of the second thing that has happened over the weekend is that I got a new cat. There was a stray
Ooh.
cat outside and it was getting really cold, so we brought him in and he is so cute. His name is Winston and he's a mess. So we have been
Yeah.
adjusting to new cat life, getting him socialized with
Mm-hmm.
Yoshi, our current cat, which is scary. But Thanksgiving itself was wonderful. I had a blast. We went to my lovely wife Nicole's family for the day of or the day after, and then the Saturday
Mm-hmm.
after we had my family's. I made for her family's. I made the sweet potato casserole, and then for my family's, we made the mac and cheese and the green bean casserole. And let me tell
Ooh.
you, it was divine. I had so much
Oh yeah.
fun. It was great to see family. I got some family to see some family that I don't normally see that are hard to get a hold of. I have an uncle who I share a kinship with, he's like my favorite uncle. Couldn't tell you why, but I'm particularly fond of him, and he came by. He doesn't normally stick around for long, so it was nice to
Yeah.
see him and the rest of my family. Good to see my brother, who I haven't seen in a little while. And we had a good time. We're just eating, chilling out, playing some games. We bought Hughes and Clues or Hughes and Cues. Sorry, have you played that game?
Okay. I have not. I have
It's a
not.
board game. I think I have it
Mm-hmm.
somewhere right here, where you get this board that's a gradient of squares, much like this,
Yeah.
and you there will be one player who draws a card with four different sets of coordinates on it and a color attached to it,
Mm-hmm.
and there's two phases. The first phase, everybody will go around and they'll have a one-word clue to guess the color, and then a second time around with a two-word clue. And the goal
Hmm.
is to get as close to the
Okay.
color as possible based on your clue. It was so much fun.
Hmm.
We got to play some of that with family. Got to see my sister, who I haven't seen in a while either. She made her famous
Yeah.
sangria, and it was awesome, so good.
Mm. Mm. I gotta
Um,
get that recipe. I gotta know. I
dude,
gotta
yeah,
know.
she killed it. And we both we looked at each other after the batch finished, and we were like, next year we got to put pears in this. But it was
Ooh.
killer. I'll have to get that recipe for you. We can maybe we can do
Yeah.
a like a holiday themed booze and battle next year. That'd be a
Ooh.
lot of fun.
Yeah. That would definitely be a lot of fun.
But yeah, that's kind of how my Thanksgiving went. It was very fun, very family focused, very
Oh yeah.
exciting, of course, with the new cat.
Hmm.
But what about you? How was this was Maggie's first Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah.
First,
Yeah. It
yeah.
was. It was pretty good. We. So I think when I recorded last, I don't know if the listeners heard it in my voice or not, but I was coming down with a bit of a cold, and sure enough, that hit me like a truck during the week afterwards. So kind of that, which is like that's unfortunate because that was the build up right to Thanksgiving and everything. So it was just like, okay, well, great, now I'm sick. But I got over it mostly by the time of Thanksgiving. But it was a little bit of a challenge. Even through Thanksgiving, it kind of reared back up. So Maggie was feeling better by then, though, which was great. That's
Oh,
really what
good.
we were, hoping for. Yeah. So she was feeling a lot better. And then we just, yeah, it was a pretty good Thanksgiving overall. We went over to my wife's mom's house and had dinner with her and her aunt and uncle who live locally, and just had a good time. we made deviled eggs for it. We made
Very nice.
green bean casserole. We made some mac and cheese, and a little bit of like stuffing. It was just kind of all of the side dishes for us, and then they made turkey and just the usual.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. One of the hits though is always it's her family is like is very like Southern family, and so they're
Yes, of course.
the big hits are always the deviled eggs, and they're always Mississippi mud for dessert, which is like
What is
kind of like
Mississippi
a
mud?
brownie. It's like a brownie with like marshmallows on top and like chocolate covering it, and it's so good.
That sounds killer.
So yeah, oh my god, it's great. Yeah. We just had a good time. Unfortunately, I think the train is going to come by here in a sec to drown me out.
There it is. I hear it happening.
Yep.
I'll take it for a second. If if you want, you can always like mute, and I can talk about. Never mind.
Yeah,
that's fine too. It's just gonna happen. You're gonna hear some train. We're recording.
You're gonna hear some train.
We're recording at 2:00 as opposed to our normal like 9 p.m. So a little more activity today than usual, which is fine. I'm actually really excited about it. It means we get to talk about what we're gonna do for the rest of the evening after we're done recording today. So that's super exciting. And I'm sure that in just a moment we'll be able to have Johnny back with Sans train.
Yeah. A little bit of noise in the background, I'm sure, but probably not as bad. Yeah, it's always
that's the Polar Express.
An adventure. Right? It's always an adventure living by the train tracks.
True.
It's no, but we're
I feel like normally I get the noise because I live right by a busy street, and so there's always like motorcycles or crazy people driving right by it.
Yeah, we're set a little bit back from the road, thankfully, but then we have this right next to us, so it's like the trade-off.
Yep.
But
indeed,
yeah, it was overall a good Thanksgiving, and then we had actually yesterday we went out for a little bit of like a family outing for kind of a precursor to my birthday coming up next week. So
yeah, that's right. Your birthday is the 9th, correct?
Yep. My birthday's
happy
9th,
early
so
birthday to you. That's exciting.
Thank you. Yeah. We went and checked out a local barcade that I hadn't been to since last year, actually, and had a great time there. Spent nearly like $10 on continues on a Japanese party game cabinet that was there, because we are both absolutely terrible at it, apparently. We both had like our like hit couple of like mini games in it, and then like other ones were just like constantly like, oh no, you sucked at this. So ton of fun with that. Yeah, just a really good time the last couple of weeks.
Very nice. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah. And then I think the only other thing that I have to report about my holiday, we had a Friendsgiving, which was excellent. About my D&D group, maybe we'll be able to finally start in February. Who's to say?
That's exciting.
I'm hopeful, but it was nice. I think that's really it, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been crazy. I mean, decorating for the holidays was fun, but everything's kind of a mess right now. I'm glad you had a good holiday.
Yeah.
I'm glad you had some time off. We're getting together for the first and there's only a few more recordings before the end of the year. How do you feel about that?
Oh my god, it's honestly it's been a really interesting experience, because this is like the first year that I've like done this for a full year now,
Yeah.
So I've been with like the exception of like a few weeks off here and there, like it's just been it's been a blast doing this with you and joining on with this. And I think like looking back a year ago, I was like thinking like, oh, this would be a cool thing to do, and then like, yeah, here we are.
Now here you are. Yeah. Wonderful. Well, it's good to be here with you, my friend. Welcome to N21FM Pokemon Podcast. It's crazy. We've got a lot going on right now in the works. You folks at home might not see it, but there's a lot going on behind the scenes. We have some evaluation going on here behind the scenes for what the things will look like in the new year. just based on how the board of hosts will continue to evolve and change over time throughout the 2026 portion of the show and how that will work. That'll be an evaluation that takes place during the early part of 2026. So you can expect to hear from us at the earliest. I want to talk about our holiday break coming up here in a moment. Actually, let's go ahead and get on to that. I want to be ahead of the curve with that. So let's talk about things that will be different for the month of December. A couple things. So next week, we are not sure that we will have an episode. The 14th and 13th, I'm not certain that we will have an episode at all. If we do, it will be kind of a treat. I like to do my best to give people the last couple of weeks of the show, and myself the last couple of weeks of the year, not worrying about this show. That will be a little different this year. The 21st, we have finally confirmed a date with Little Dark Fury to come on and interview that Sunday at 7 p.m. So that week you will get an episode actually right on Christmas, or the night before Christmas, perhaps. So you should have that ready to go at that point. But don't expect too much more from us. That it's kind of, a bonus that we're doing this much. I'd like to do as little as possible for December, and we didn't quite ramp up as many episodes as we wanted to get like a backlog going. But also, I'm not going to break my back during the holidays for this show quite yet. I do love you all, but this is still very much a casual project, so I appreciate your patience and support. I also want to point out that we will be returning in January, probably at the earliest on the weekend of the 10th and 11th. But yeah, I think that will be probably when we return, just so that we have plenty of time to evaluate, see how and organize how the host rotation will go. That'll make it easier on Johnny as a new parent, and our other co-hosts, of course, as members of our community. There are conversations happening behind the scenes to see how that will turn out. Spoiler alert, you might be seeing a lot more of Powers on the show in the coming weeks and months, which is very exciting. Very good friend, very good person to talk to about Pokemon, and maybe some other fun guests too. It's a lot going on. We'll have to see. Another wonderful thing happening in the month of December that I've actually just put on the Patreon is we are giving out as a group 5 free memberships to the fan tier on Patreon. The way you can claim this, there's only 5 of them available. It's completely free. The way you claim them is you'll go to patreon.com/Terminal Creative. You'll join as a free member to our show, and there is a post there with the link so that you can claim your free membership to the fan tier. I can't distribute it on YouTube because I would have to mark the video as 18 plus, and that would just not be. I can't distribute the code in an avenue that is not 18 plus. But if I'm distributing it on Patreon, you have to be already subscribed to see that, and it's an 18 and up Patreon. So if you're 18 and up, do consider supporting us over there. Join us on patreon.com/Terminal Creative, where for now at least you can get the $1 tier, which is early access to the show and access to our bonus show N21FM. There's quite a backlog of content for you to watch at that tier, which is why we're giving out those free codes for Christmas. It's an extensive amount of content, actually, truly. There's 8 episodes of N21 Plus for season 2, and then I think season 1 had a lot, actually, quite a bit of content for you. Season 1, I'm trying to find on the channel right now. This is right in the middle of my Pokemon Black playthrough. Yes, there were 21 episodes of N21 Plus last season before Worlds. So expect plenty of content from that and other good things over on patreon.com/Terminal Creative. If you're at wanting to put a little more money into it, though, the $5 tier gets you the same benefits as the $1 tier, but you also get access to our monthly Q&A thread. The December thread is up right now, pinned on our Patreon. This is so that you can ask us or any guests of ours, i.e. LDF, this month, questions that we can read here on the show. If you have any questions for LDF, we do have him confirmed. I got the email from him. He said, I've cleared my schedule for the 21st, so I'll be there. So we'll be delivering on that to the best of our ability. Very excited about that. And then, of course, there is the $10 a month tier, which is our producer tier, where you get your name read at the end of the show, in addition to all the other benefits. Working on others' benefits to be included in those tiers. But for now, we're doing what we can, and we appreciate all your love and support over there on Patreon. Another important thing I want to bring up about monetization, I know this is very boring, but bear with us. We will never roll ads on N21FM, so we appreciate your patience through the Patreon ad read. Spotify. We have been given an opportunity to start monetizing on Spotify through something like, I think they call it subscriptions.
Mm-hmm.
There is no conflicts of interest. I'm curious to know what our fans think. So, if you're so inclined, or if you will, leave us a comment either here on YouTube or over on Spotify to know what you think about opening up the Spotify subscriptions service so that you can access, I think you'd get similar Patreon access, if not the same Patreon access. Just you wouldn't have to leave the Spotify app. And of course, that would be something that we develop as a business model over time. I don't want to make something necessarily exclusive to Spotify or exclusive to Patreon. But
right.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. So let us know in the comments what you think about that, so that we can decide whether we want to continue down that avenue or not. I know convenience is king, so if you don't want to leave the Spotify app, you're welcome to not have to leave it to go to Patreon, if you can let us know that you want that feature available to you. So much to say about money here on this podcast. Well,
you know what? It is the thing that starts driving us, and we're not like you said, not running ads. So
yeah, this is a fully fan-funded project, which, by the way, I want to apologize. I want to be held accountable for this. We did not put out the holiday calendar episode on time. I think I'm still going to post it. Patrons will not get early access to it. It's just going to go straight to the YouTube feed, because what's the point in early access now anyways? It's already the middle of December. I'm just going to post it ASAP. I apologize about that. Like I said, it's been hectic, and I also started my internship for the college doing their podcast. So lots of things been going on that have prevented me from giving the appropriate care and attention to that video. We'll put it up ASAP. So sorry about that. I hope you enjoy anyways. But I want you to still see where your Patreon money went to. But yeah, we bring up all that stuff about Spotify because it's pretty important. We can kind of go ahead and get started. Anything that you want to say about that before we move on to what were our topics for the week? We've got quite a bit lined up, including, I wanted to talk about in a second, we've got our Spotify creator wrap that I wanted to talk to the audience about. And
yeah, I think this is such a cool topic, honestly. I'm really excited for this.
Perfect. We'll get into that in just a moment. I want to give you guys a quick preview. We'll talk about our Spotify creator wrapped. We have our usual movers and shakers article from TCG Player. We're going to be talking about the Gabriel Fernandez ban. We've got some news from Pokebeach, job listings at TPCI, the usual what we're playing section, and I don't know, a couple of other things. We might briefly talk about Kabuto King when we get to the movers and shakers article. We'll have a brief discussion about him as a guy.
Yeah.
But other than that, that's kind of what we'll be talking about this week. There's a lot going on. So let's get into the Spotify creator wraps. First and foremost, I want to thank the audience because it has been a killer year for us in 2025. I've got the wrapped pulled up right now. I'll just go through each thing and kind of we'll talk about it. We'll discuss it.
Yeah.
Some things are really impressive. Some things I just find interesting. So first and foremost, our total audience is up 500% from last year. The new audience is up 600% from last year. Our total followers is up 55% from last year. Let me know if any of these grabs your attention, by the way. We're up 669% in total listening time from last year, which is crazy.
Whoa, that is big.
Yeah, it's really, really crazy. Let's see. It's got our most popular episode, which I found curious. It was not any of the Dunsparce and Drampa episodes. It was actually the episode with my good friend Henry Cortez, who is the owner and runner of SoCal Playing Cards out in California.
Okay.
I interviewed him because he staffed NAIC and eventually Worlds because of his job. And that episode got on Spotify got 100% more than our average episode, which I found curious because I would have expected the Dunsparce and Drampa episodes to get more attention.
Right. I
But
wonder
that's
why.
exciting.
Maybe that one got spread around in a certain way or hit some
Maybe
right
so.
notes that in the algorithm.
Could be. But I thought that was interesting. Let's see here. What else is
Yeah,
next?
I was looking at some of the stats on this that you had kind of shared a little bit before the show with the most shared we've been
that's a little later.
Oh yeah.
I want to
go.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's still in it. I want to get to the things in the order they arrive. And this next one is actually sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. There's
go for it.
A reason I put them in this order. This next one I found so curious. All right. According to Spotify, we are in the top 30% of videos on Spotify.
Interesting.
And I have to say thank you, first of all, to obviously this entire segment, I want to be thankful to the Spotify listeners and viewers. But I find it so curious that video is so unpopular that our show was in the top 30%.
Right.
I wonder what that means.
I think it's because Spotify is not like the video format, especially for podcasts, I think is a lot newer for Spotify. And so a lot of shows might be podcasts and still might be forgoing the video route.
Yeah, there's even video podcasts I listen to that don't show their video on Spotify.
Interesting. Yeah. I think that might be part of it. And I think the other part of it is then because video is so low on Spotify that it kind of just naturally translates. If you have video content and yours just happens to be more popular as video content, becomes a more popular video content on Spotify as a result, regardless of overall like listenership and show popularity.
Yeah. Interesting.
I think that's really cool.
Spotify started allowing video access, I believe, in 2021. So it's not that new of a feature, but
yeah,
it is noteworthy. I thank you all for watching the videos. That just means that we're doing something better than most other people. That we're getting enough audience that at least we're showing up in Spotify's metrics, which is noteworthy. So continue to sharing the show because, again, like it's important that we thank and promote the Spotify because that will continue to get us accolades like this. There's a lot of other really interesting ones on here. For instance, those videos were watched 267% more in 2025 than 2024, which is a lot. But yeah, that's all kind of like for the video stuff. I just found that really curious. Any other thoughts before we move on a little bit to any thoughts on the video stuff?
I think maybe the other thing with like the videos this year being watched more than last year also just amounts to the show growing more this year than last year. And that's absolutely a heavy part of it,
500, 600% growth is gonna do that. Awesome. Let's see. Apparently there's 5 countries who listen to the show on Spotify. Maybe that's a VPN, but maybe it's not. We have obviously America is our number one. United States is our number one country, but we also have listeners in the Netherlands, Australia, South Africa, and Sweden. So shout out to those countries, to those listeners. If you're that listener, let us know in the comments on Spotify. I'm curious to know who you are and why you value our show. That's peculiar to me. But thank you again so much.
If that isn't like VPN traffic, then I think that's really cool. That
who's putting their VPN in South Africa?
Right. If we're getting some traffic though from these other countries, it's really cool getting other Pokemon listeners from just other places around the world.
Yeah, very much so. Let's see here. The next thing. Oh, jeez. Oh yeah. Also, the overlap. The next section is like the top artists that other people who listen to us listen to. I found this curious. The top 5 is number 1 is Toby Fox. So you guys are telling on yourselves. Number 2 is Baby No Money.
I'm out of the loop. Who is
Toby Fox is the composer, and he's Undertale. That's the guy who made Undertale and wrote the music and all that, and Deltarune more recently.
Yes.
Number 2 is Baby No Money. 3 is Sleep Token.
Hey.
4 is Freddie Gibbs, and I don't know what this number 5 is. It's Japanese. I think this looks like Miku, but it's some kind of nightcore record.
It's definitely like that's definitely like a Vocaloid something or other.
There's something Vocaloid happening here. So I guess you guys have some really weird, and I'm going to say it, a little autistic taste. I know what you are. I know what you people are, and I thank you.
As someone who can attest to being a Sleep Token and a Baby No Money listener, yeah,
God, I love Baby No Money. He's so good. Toby Fox is also good. Mm-hmm. He's a great composer.
Oh yeah.
All right, and
those tracks.
The other top audiobooks from our listeners, which is I find curious. Halo First Strike by Eric Nyland. Blood, Sweat, and Pixels by Jason Schreier, video game journalist. I don't know what this is. This is something in a different language by Siak Braal. It's the title is Hags Bluff.
You did say that we had a listener in the Netherlands, right?
I would have to assume this is that guy.
This might be our Netherlands listener right here.
Yeah, and then we have Home is Where the Bodies Are by Geneva Rose is another one. Is the 4th place audiobook. I have no clue.
Interesting.
Just interesting. And then the top shows that we have in common with people. Number 1, Game Pass Grab Bag, which is an Xbox podcast. And I'm interested in that. I'm an Xbox player for now. I do have a PC on the way, but that's really cool. Number 2, obviously, friends of the show, Dunsparce and Drampa. I'm surprised they weren't number 1. Very surprised they weren't number 1. And then the next ones throw me off entirely. Number 3 is the Snark Tank. Now,
hey,
I don't.
I'm not entirely surprised.
Do you listen to the Snark Tank, Johnny?
I don't, but I have listened to Snark Tank clips before, so I'm not. I can understand why people who listen to the Snark Tank also listen to us, just on that basis.
Yeah, I can too. But what I find so curious about that, I listened to the Snark Tank since episode 0. I am a long-time fan of that show. It is hilarious. It is a conversational podcast, comedy podcast, very unhinged, very offensive comedy in some respects. So please, not for the faint of heart. They're very dark woke, which I love.
Oh yeah.
But I found it so curious that they were so high up on the list. So I guess you guys have heard me talk about it before and maybe started listening. But that's just I found that hilarious because right under that is Uncommon Energy. And I was like, we have way more in common with UE than we do with the Snark Tank.
Yeah. I mean, Uncommon Energy at least tracks there, you know.
Yeah. But then, and then number 5 is Game Theory. I just found it so curious that like the top 3 podcasts that other people share with this are all gaming, and then only 2 of the 5 are Pokemon related. Curious.
Right.
But very interesting. It's very fun to me. It's kind of heartwarming actually that the Snark Tank is on that list because I love that show so much. It's one of my top listening. I think they were my top show. I listened. I want to say to like 18,000 hours of that show for 2025.
Oh my god.
It's a funny show, and they have a lot of content. I probably ought to support them on Patreon, but I don't. Yeah, I've got it right here. 18,227 minutes. I'm a top 3% fan of theirs. I'm a real one.
Yeah, absolutely. The OG.
Yeah, and then Game Theory in 5th. So very interesting series of shows that you guys seem to listen to as well. And then they've gave out like superlatives on Spotify.
Yes.
I guess they gave out little awards. Anything else on the common shows before we move on?
No, the only thing I was maybe a little bit surprised about was, but maybe not, I don't know. Just there wasn't too much crossover with other Pokemon TCG podcasts.
Yes.
But then again, I think like Uncommon Energy is like pretty much the most
the household
popular.
Name.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the most popular, if not the most popular Pokemon like TCG podcasts. And then a lot of other ones afterwards basically come down to like the kind of content you want. There's, Lake of Rage Pod, if you would just want like interviews with Kevin Clementi interviewing literally everybody ever, then
I should interview him. We should get him on the show.
That would definitely be a cool interview.
I'll reach out to him.
There's what is it? The Shift. Well, no, they just quit actually. I think recently. I was going to say Shift Gear, but Jake Gearhart I think ended his podcast recently.
Oh, jeez.
There's one of there's the one that Andrew Mahone does.
Yeah, I'm surprised Tag Team isn't higher up there.
Yeah. Tag Team is a pretty big one. There's what was it?
Here's one I want to shout out. Metapod.
The guys down Metapod. Metapod's a great one. Metapod's such a fun one for the casual TCG listener. I think like Metapod is like one of the most fun to listen to. They have such a good
think if you like our show, you would love Metapod, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that's a pretty fair assumption.
Genuinely agree with that. Yeah. I think who else was it? One of the other ones that I listened to, just because they were always always promoted, I think, based on like location for me when I first started playing Pokemon, but also like the people on it are pretty knowledgeable, is Poke Beach podcast, because those guys are from Jacksonville.
Interesting.
Yeah,
we should listen. I should listen to their show. We cite them all the time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Poke Beach has, or not Poke Beach, sorry, Beach Court, excuse me. Poke Beach had a podcast too.
Gotcha.
The Beach Court podcast. They're from Jacksonville. They, I think like one of the big people on their show is Maddox Cochran, who does. Maddox. Mm-hmm. Maddox is definitely a notable player in the community. Someone who I think like is maybe a little under talked about at times. But definitely a big player in the community. So. That one was
Maddox is just the name of a good player, by the way. That sounds like somebody who would play well in chess too. I don't know.
But yeah. Like I said, a little surprised about the TCG content.
Definitely surprised
being
by
on there. But then it's
check out Tag Team, check out Lake of Rage, check out Metapod. Mm-hmm. I think you'll enjoy those shows if you like this one and need more to listen to. Or check out our Patreon to get more access to our show.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Interesting. All right. The superlatives they gave out over on Spotify. They gave us the 2025 Rising Star Award, where this year our show's growth outpaced, and this one caught me off guard. Our show this year, the growth outpaced 95% of other shows.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on?
That's huge. I have to believe that that's just because we have shared so much content and ramped up like the content sharing on this,
Yeah, the shorts, by the way, on YouTube, you guys have been killing that. I'm thinking about making a page on Instagram just for the podcast, or for like Terminal Creative as a I don't know if it's because Terminal Creative is the name of the YouTube channel. The way I kind of envision it is it will be like a media conglomerate, sort of in the vein of the way Last Stand Media does their things, where they're a network of podcasts, but mine will be videos and a podcast and other things as time goes on.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I find it like I want to make a page probably just for like Terminal Creative projects on Instagram so that we can like put those out there and put it on Spotify. But yeah, a lot going on there. It shows a couple things. One, not a lot of other shows are growing. And two, what we're doing has been working. So I'm very appreciative of that.
Yeah. I think that's awesome. I think that's so cool.
Yeah. 95% of other shows on the platform. That's crazy. We received more comments than 86% of other shows in 2025. And then we received more shares than 85% of other shows.
Yep.
So
I think that
yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just saying, I think that those kind of line up with that 95% of growth. That right there, I think those two metrics are proof enough of that 95% growth.
Yeah. I'm so grateful for these numbers. This means a lot to me. I've lost a lot of sleep over this show Just to be like transparent and very vulnerable about it, this show stresses me out a lot sometimes. And it takes up a lot of my mental time. It takes up a lot of my mental effort and a lot of my weekends. And sometimes I'm like, what am I doing? But this kind of shows me that what I'm doing is working. What we're doing is working, and I'm so thankful for this. I can't express how thankful I am, because this is just one platform as well. This isn't even showing the growth we've been doing on YouTube or with the shorts or anything like that. Like, our content on YouTube has been doing really well too. I think it's super impressive. Our analytics on YouTube are really awesome. We've been getting consistent views. I need to put some more shorts in so that I can continue to like get those recurring views. But I mean, it's working, and I'm super grateful for that. I just want to thank all the viewers at home for continuing to love this show and support it. And we hope that you'll continue to do so. So thank you so much to all of our fans on Spotify, on YouTube, whatever platform you're listening to, on Patreon. Thank you so much. Lots. I plan to grow your investment in this show in an exciting way that you're a big fan of. So thank you for, in this early, still the show is in its infancy. Like, we're in season 3, but this show is still very young. So I look forward to growing it more. I want to get one year a booth at a regional so that we can just do interviews and do an episode of the podcast like that. I think that would be sick.
That'd be really, really cool.
But yeah, long-term goal. You guys are going to help us make that happen, and I'm looking forward to it. All right, let's move on. Anything else on that before we move on?
No, I think we covered it all.
Perfect. Okay, and I wanted to get started today with a really interesting one. We're going to get started with the Movers and Shakers article over on tcgplayer.com. This article comes to us via our usual... Oh, wait, hold on. That's not the article, is it? Oh, sorry. I opened the other article for a second by accident. This comes to us via Corbin Hostler. And again, just can't get his titles right. I don't think there's any drops in this one. But oh no, there is. Yeah, this guy still can't get his titles right. Interesting series. Just label it Movers and Shakers, man, as the title. This is ridiculous. This is getting out of hand. Be serious. We're adults here. This comes to us, though, from Corbin Hostler over at tcgplayer.com. This is published December 2nd, 2025, so I understand that by the time this goes public on live feeds, or by the time it goes live on free feeds, these numbers will be a little different. But
yes,
it is still a really interesting thing we like to look at each week. So the first thing on this article, and I kind of want to take a moment to talk about this guy before we really move into the rest of the article.
Right.
Because the card that has seen the most traffic in this month has been first edition Kabuto, where it went from a measly, for the first edition specifically, has gone from a measly $5.60. It is sitting comfortably at $43.97 right now. This is because there is a collector out there by the name of Kabuto King, whose goal is to acquire every single first edition Kabuto in the world. And they have quite an impressive collection already. It is really, really wild. And this Kabuto King, he's an interesting character. If you see on like his Twitter, of course, there's been a lot of controversy about it because he's been getting support from like, you know, the usual suspects, your crypto bros and your NFT types. I'm curious what we think of like the ethics of this, of trying to collect every copy of one particular card before we move on to the rest of the article. I
personally don't mind it, honestly. I think that I think it's really cool to have kind of like that as a goal, you know, especially with a card like this, right? Like Kabuto is, yes, it's a first edition fossil card. So like those are hard to come by. They're going to be popular for any first edition base jungle fossil card is going to be popular under the merit of it's a first edition, first three sets card.
Right.
I don't really have an issue with someone trying to collect every single one, as long as they're not like resorting to particularly scummy tactics in order to do so. Like I wouldn't be, if it's like, oh, he's bullying people to try to get them out of their cards or something like that, right? Or something like that. Like that would be obviously like really, not okay. Wouldn't be fine with that. But just the, hey, I'm trying to collect all of these, makes an offer to someone. Why not? This is for the sake of this kind of collection, I think it'd be perfectly fine.
Interesting. I find myself of two minds about it. By the way, I went searching through my binder of old cards.
Mm-hmm.
I've got one. He's right here.
First edition?
First edition, baby. I think so. I'm pretty
it's
sure.
got
I'm pretty sure.
It's a little first editions have that little stamp right in the
claw
left
one, right?
corner underneath the picture. No. So the claw is the fossil. It's on the opposite side.
Never mind.
Okay, yeah.
Not first edition. Not a big deal.
Mm.
I'm against this. I won't play around. I won't beat around the bush. I am against this.
Yeah.
And I don't condemn. Like, I'm not condemning him, of course. But I think when something like this gets big and famous enough, it is potentially treacherous territory. We are currently in a market of this game and this hobby where it is nigh impossible to get sealed product.
All right.
It is difficult to get cards you love. And it's one thing to be like, oh, I love this little goofy guy. I want to collect all of them. Haha, so funny. But the environment is not here for it. Because let's consider the following. What if I wanted to collect every... Let's say I wanted to collect every single Palkia V-Star. Right. That's fine. It's a relatively not valuable card. But it's different, right? It's not... I don't know. And maybe this is the skeptic in me, where I just see this as like potential for market manipulation in the future.
Right. I get that.
That's my concern, is that we kind of open the floodgates to more copycats. We're like, well, I want every Scyther. I want every Hitmonchan. I want every first edition whatever. I want every single like Astral Ray. I want every Darkrai V-Star. I want all of the Radiant Eternatus cards for some reason. And I guarantee you what will happen is you'll get somebody who does this and is like, oh, excited about it. But then you'll get more people who are the like finance crypto types who are going to be like, oh, well, I know this person's doing this. I'm going to sit on a handful of them. And after it gets to a certain amount, I'm going to cash out. Having, and then, like, it's one thing for it to be for it to be base set, but like, think about it now. Like now, let's see, how many does he currently have? He's got a current total of 1,718. That is 1,717 people who will not get it, and obviously this is like potential. This is not guaranteed. I'm sure there's not that many people, but now there are 1,717 fewer full base set collections.
Yeah.
So, and this is one of the few times that I'll go to bat for collectors. You guys, if you want a base set collection, you should be able to reasonably go and get one without having this random card jump up in price because one guy wanted to hoard all of them. I'm not in favor of anybody hoarding anything. You should distribute. I like it. Why? I don't know. I can't think of a non-malicious reason you'd want to have everything of this one thing. And whatever, maybe he's just an enthusiast. That's awesome. And I support what he's done. He's actually raised a lot of money for St. Jude through some campaigns and fundraisers. He's clearly like not a malicious guy, but this is dangerous. This is dangerous for where we're at in the hobby, and I can't co-sign it. So that's my take on it.
I get that.
I don't know.
It's the fact that I get that. It's the fact that like because yeah, like you said, because someone does this, the people who are malicious about it, or the people who aren't going to worry about, raising money for a good cause out of this, they're just going to take it, run with it. And the crypto community, like, I mean, you mentioned that the crypto bros are kind of attracted to this. I mean, he's already kind of, what was it? I just kind of looked through his Twitter account literally 3 hours ago as of recording this. So on the 7th of December, he tweeted out saying, for as much bad as I've heard about the crypto community before this adventure, you guys were the ones who helped make this all possible. Made a real life positive impact in the world. Be proud of that. Thank you. And I know that that's going to enable people who aren't of the same mindset of him, who aren't, good people, unfortunately.
Right.
So I can understand your take. I think my view of like, oh, I'm fine with it, comes with I'm fine with it in the bubble of, hey, it's someone who's collecting, one card specifically, and they're collecting it because it's a journey more than anything to get one copy of, or every copy of this one specific card. But it isn't, I think I'm more swayed now, like that you've kind of explained that with the crypto nonsense, towards your side of it, where it is now, yeah, hey, this is going to attract the wrong people.
Yeah. And here's another thing. So there are, according to CCG Player, on August 18th of 2024, there are over 200,000 distinct Pokemon cards, depending on how you count them. Now there are like reprints, functional reprints, effective reprints, things like that.
Yeah.
But with all variants, there are 34,000 as of August of last year. Or sorry, no, 34,000 extra. There's still like 200 and well, hold on, I'm trying to find out. Yeah, it's well over 200,000. But what that means though is there's only about 200,000 people who can do this.
Right.
And a lot of people would want to, there's a scary amount of people who would want to do this. And all I need is the evidence of something like Mantike from Paradox Rift. The SIR getting pumped artificially from 559 to now sitting comfortably at 1601.
Yep.
Like, and that was not by virtue of somebody who with good intentions or anything like that. That was just people who wanted more money. So they said, let's buy up all of these, make them more scarce artificially, and charge more for them. And that's my concern, is I want to nip this in the bud. Only one person can do this. I don't want to make, I think Kabuto King is fine. He can stay. The rest of you, get a job.
Yeah. It is. I definitely agree with that sentiment, because it is going to result in Tauros King and
there's gonna be Tauros King, there's gonna be Scyther King. They're seeking King.
It's just seeking
Nido King.
I mean, it's just gonna be, they're just going to use the Pokemon name. They're just gonna use it. Oh God. Yeah,
and that's my concern. I, not to be a doomer, but I fear that will happen. So hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully this is the first and last. But that's all I've got to say about that. All right.
Yeah.
Let's move on, because it's there's other stuff I want to get to. Once again, we've got Corbin failing to live up to his title, because this is not a spike in the price. Maybe it is. Maybe $10 is a spike if you squint. Mega Charizard EX from Phantasmal Flames, a special illustration rare, I guess went down. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's not a spike. His comment on this even says that it's been out long enough that it's finding its level. And I did glance through, because we're skipping 1 week's worth of article on this. He did write an article on this the last week, and he commented pretty much the same thing. So he's double dipping on Mega Charizard EX now for
Classic.
2 weeks. And a week ago, Mega Charizard EX was also leveling off. So, yeah, I don't know, Corbin.
Yikes.
What are we doing? What are we doing now?
Let's figure this out.
This segment is no longer discussing the biggest movers and shakers now. It's just the segment of we call out Corbin Hostler once a week.
True, yeah. This is us just dunking on Corbin Hostler. Yeah. Not to mention,
he's not
this. I think what happened here is that
wrong,
this card is still leveling out, but also like it's a Charizard. This will get clicks.
Yeah.
Do better, Corbin.
I mean, this is the card's leveling out because realistically, it is absurd that people were paying almost $1,000 for this illustration. It's not worth $1,000. Like, calm down, folks. It is worth, maybe
I don't think any card
the
is worth $1,000.
500 of it.
Nah.
But I think that we're moving past that of the needing to spend that much.
Yes, certainly. And here's another thing I want to point out is in the same part of this article, Corbin points out that there has been a spike in price of a different card that's not on this list. And that's the ultra rare printing of Dawn from the same set.
Yeah.
Is went from 10 to 14. Put that card in this slot. Don't put Charizard here. What's going on? I don't like this. Ridiculous, quite plainly. So I don't know. Do better. Don't buy this card. It's $600. It's $600.48. It's gonna get lower, I think, as more people are able to get sealed product, and the market stabilizes a little more. One that has been less spiky, but more of a gradual increase, but I guess kind of got a little injection of cash flow, is this Rainbow Rare Mewtwo and Mew GX from Unified Minds. This is an interesting one. It's a Mew and Mewtwo pair. It went from, on November 10th, it went from 304 to approximately, it's sitting comfortably at 332 now. Nice little jump in price. But this is one that's been trending upwards for a long time. So,
right, yeah.
It's not like a spike, but it is a little injection. I think it's fair to put this in here. It's a cool one, but again, it is a Mew and Mewtwo, so it's another like, this will get clicks.
It's also been on a stronger incline since about early to mid-August. Really, it was on a very steady increase over the past year, but mid-August started seeing that increase ramp up a little bit more. Yeah. It's whatever, dude. These rainbow rares are awful to look at. I don't understand it.
I like some of them.
They're so bad. I'm a rainbow rare hater, man. I am a rainbow rare hater, especially when the standard tag teams are all illustrated by Arita, and all of them look so nice, right?
Yeah.
Like why spend $300 on Mew and Mewtwo GX Rainbow Rare Tag Team or Tag Team Rainbow Rare when you could spend under $100 on the base version of this card, and it just looks better.
Yeah,
it looks better. You will never sell me on the Rainbow Rares of these cards. I understand it, but you'll never sell me on it.
Rainbow Rare Mewtwo and Mew GX King on Twitter started getting active. And so now we have this happening. Yeah, I don't know. Weird price spike. I like some of the Rainbow Rares. I think some of them look okay. I don't think this one does. So, weird that it's just more rare, so it's more valuable. Rare doesn't always mean valuable. I've gone...
With the next card.
There's There's really common cards I have that
Oh
or
yeah.
like there were cards that I was looking for in back in like Silver Tempest format. I didn't have any like Refinement Curlias for a while because I didn't open that much Silver Tempest. That was a very valuable card. Very common.
Very common.
There, it's not always a direct one-to-one relationship. So let's figure it out and maybe stop pumping money into something just because it's rare. Speaking of things that suck that are worth a lot of money, we have the Mega Lucario EX Craft Single from Mega Evolution. This card has, of course, fallen by about $50.
Yeah,
it was sitting around $452 and is now $399 or $48. Go ahead.
Yep. I hope it keeps going down. These things are ugly. They're not worth this mega rare special marker, whatever is on these. I hate these cards.
They look bad. There's not a lot of gold rares that look good. There's just not. I don't think they're worth anything. And this is just a terrible card. I hate it. So figure it out, man. Figure it out.
Yeah. Speaking of things that have been on a bit of a decline lately, though,
go ahead.
Mew, the shiny Mew EX from Paldean Fates, is right now sitting down around 518, and that's down from where it was at even just what, like a month ago. It was sitting at what is that, 558?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So it's already dropped about $40, and I mean, even earlier this year, 3 months ago, we're looking at like a $700 card that's now down close to $500. So this thing's been dropping in price,
which is great.
I mean, you can kind of see that too, like with this card's. If you look at like the year-long history of this card, right, it has these big spikes that it goes to, and then steady declines. It's coming back down on a steady decline after a big spike over the summer that ramped it back up pretty high. So I think we'll see that decrease again, and it'll be it'll be a cycle of this. I don't expect it to last long on a low value though, or a lower value though, because Paldean Fates did get its like more recent bump, but it is also the last print cycle, I think, of Paldean Fates. I don't think we're going to get more of that.
Paldean Fates is leaving print very soon.
That means this thing is not going to see much more market saturation. So
right, which is fine. I still think this card is overpriced.
Very much.
But I'm just not a fan of spending that much money on cardboard. So. What? Who's to say?
Yeah.
Another thing I'm noticing here, some promos dropped from Mega Evolution, where Alakazam, the Alakazam Pokemon Center exclusive printing dropped from 87 to 70, and the staffed promo Inteleon from Mega Evolution went from 60 down to 47, which is strange.
I think that kind of makes sense. Those will always be worth whatever people try to attribute to them and put them at,
Staff promos are one of those things where if you're going to sell them, you got to hold on for years. This is not financial advice, but like staff promos are something that are like a long game investment if you're investing. So,
right. Yeah. Definitely fewer and farther between those cards. So I get why they have like a certain, market rate set to them. That just gets kind of, person to person.
This next one.
There's another one.
Which one? Are you talking about this magic card?
Oh, I was gonna say, yes, yeah.
Okay, we'll get into this. So yeah, the Magikarp, the Paldea Evolved Illustration Rare, made by what is this one? Is this? Do you know the name of this artist? It's the famous one. It's got the Gyarados up in it. The artist is, let me see if I can read it.
I'm always
Shinji Kanda. Shinji Kanda.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
Look at us. We definitely know our Pokemon artist.
Listen, I'm not an art critic. This card has fallen a little further. Or maybe jumped up by $2. You can't tell. This is another like
It's
card that Corbin put in for clicks.
yeah. This thing has been on a steady decline. Again, another reason why this article being titled "Price Spikes" when this thing has been on the downturn of sales for the better part of 3 months. Yeah. Once again, Corbin, do better.
Yeah, this is one of those things where we need to hold journalists accountable because this is not journalism at all.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I'm critical of that. I think good journalism and good information is important in this space. So do better. This is disrespectful of people's time. All right.
Yeah, he does at least mention it's tracking downward alongside the what is it, the Tyranitar from Paldea Evolved. That
well, Paldea Evolved also
is...
recently left print, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, but so this is weird. He says that it's tracking. He's. I don't get this sentence. It's also worth noting that the Magikarp's price is tracking alongside the second most expensive card in Paldea Evolved, Tyranitar 222. But if you go and you look at that Tyranitar product page, the Tyranitar's only been going up for the last 3 months.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And the prices for the cards themselves aren't anywhere near each other. Like, I don't really get what he is doing here or what he's saying. If he's just saying, I looked at these two cards, then sure, but you can't say that they're not tracking alongside each other. They literally are not.
Oh yeah,
tracking
what is
alongside
this?
Means that they're
what
following the same trends.
I don't think Corbin knows what he. Well, because if you look at the market for that Tyranitar 222, it actually it's more deserving of being on this list than anything else, really, because it's gone from like 41 up to like 47.
So here's my take. Based on the few articles that we keep being critical about here from Corbin. Corbin is using AI to write this.
Must be.
This is like textbook AI written articles where like he just throws some stuff in and lets the AI do the rest. Corbin, please stop putting this stuff into Chat GPT and telling it to write your articles for you. Actually write your own articles.
Please do better, dude. This is bad. This is a terrible look.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do this. Sorry. Let's move on to the last one.
The last one is the only one that makes sense on this list, and it's the only one that I think is like actually worth talking about a price spike on. Genuinely. Oh yeah,
it's really cool because it's
besides the Kabuto, but yeah.
This is the result.
The last one,
another one of my favorite types of cards, is it is a spike in the price due to competitive viability, and this card is Petron EX from Shrouded Fable, which is now sitting comfortably at $5.21, up from about $1.50. Now, this is a result of a couple of decks doing really well. Mega Absol Box. I think mostly that one. Zoroark EX is also, and Zoroark is seeing some play with it, but mostly Mega Absol Box. Petron EX is really good in tandem with the Eviltal that has the clutch attack. So, I mean, like, yeah, this is a noteworthy inclusion.
The spike starts right about November 21st. Is because it was on a general upward trend, but it was all in the $1 range, around $1 to $1.50 on that general upward trend over the last couple of months, right?
Yeah.
This spike, seeing it jump from $1.50 to all the way $1 just a week, not even a week, a few days later, seeing that jump up immediately to like $2.79 and so on. Comes right after right after LAIC with the solid showing of the Mega Absol Box, and then you have beyond that, even before that actually, just a week before, you had Tord Reklev show up and take first place with Mega Absol Box as well. So you have a week where Mega Absol Box shows up and does amazing, and you have the following weekend, it shows up and still does really well at LAIC. That's absolutely why you're seeing a climb in price. It's become a popular card because of that, and it makes sense. I get it. It totally makes sense. You know?
Oh yeah, I stocked up on my full art Petrarunts a long time ago, before Journey Together even came out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm chilling.
He's got a mention even about the illustration rare, and you see like a general upswing on the illustration rare too, even just because again it's it's a card that's doing well.
Yeah.
He notes that it's not moving in quite the same way, but I would kind of argue it is. It just does what most of these illustration rares do, where they price spike and then dip and then price spike and then dip. But the most recent price spike on it shows it going from 18 up to what was that, 1846 up to about 1933 this week, which is a big jump in comparison to, you know, its general trends. And it's already a card that was generally climbing over the last couple of months anyway. So
yeah, it's interesting too, because you can tell exactly which cards are becoming like playable rather than like more collectible. Because if you look at the illustration rares for this card, or like the other printings of Petrarunti X, the ones that are getting the most like increase in price are the full art and the regular print. The others are just like not seeing that much action. And of course the stamped promo, not the promo, the prize back stamped one, because these are the ones that are the most accessible that players want. So that's cool. That's noteworthy.
Yeah.
I got the full arts just because they reminded me of the Zoroark GX full art.
Yeah, that's so fair.
Which was a promo. It has like that same color scheme of like that dark teal and the reds and stuff. So I got that just because I liked it a lot. I actually before I could get Zoroarks, I was using Zoroark GXs as proxies.
Ooh, yeah.
So I still have like Zoroark GX cards that I'll probably never use in a real deck unless I build some retro. But that's all. It was just cool.
No, that's fun. That's a fun way to use a proxy.
Okay, so that's all we've got for this article. Anything else before we kind of
I think that wraps it up.
I think I might DM Corbin and see if we can figure out what's going on, because that's a little ridiculous. It's a little disingenuous.
I tend to agree. That's kind of where my mind rests at with there. We've already talked about it. Corbin, stop using AI.
I don't want to accuse him of AI because I don't have for certain. He could just be a bad writer.
Fair enough.
Which at this point, I mean, pick your poison.
Either way, do better, please.
Yeah, either way. All right. Moving on. We've got another one. We've been recording for a while. We're probably gonna have to skip most of the Poke Beach news because there's not really much of anything crazy.
Yeah, that's fair. I think this will be
the new Mega Evolutions reveal as well, because it's only 2 guys, so we can get to that another time. All right,
this is what we'll talk about kind of a bigger one.
This is the one we'll talk about. It'll be the last thing we really do here before we talk about some quick job listings at TPCI and what we're playing, and then we'll close out. For those who may be uninitiated, Gabriel Fernandez, prolific seniors player turned master, has been permanently banned from the Pokemon trading card game and Pokemon major events of all kinds indefinitely. Completely, permanently banned. Why?
Yes.
Well, specifically, he was banned for, I don't think there's any like official reason from TPCI, but he was banned clearly for cheating and accusations of stacking his deck. There was a clip shown where he riffle shuffles his deck face up towards him, proceeds to do 9 mass shuffles, and passes it to his opponent to shuffle the deck as well. But it was disqualified and banned, presumably for cheating and stacking, of which he has a long history and of at least perceived cheating and stacking. So before we get on, we have another article that is going to support this from a long time ago that we'll talk about in a second. But Johnny, let me get your initial thoughts just on the record of what did you think when this first came out?
So when the ban was first kind of announced, I don't know that I was super surprised. I think I was more than anything. It's comes as kind of a man. I'm not surprised to see this given some of the more recent discussions lately. Um, we already have the issues at LAIC that I think kind of sparked the probably did lead to the permaban, and those issues being a according to Gabriel Fernandez, a DQ that happened because he riffle shuffled face up before doing 9 or so mashes with his deck after the riffle shuffle. Uh, there was talk of supposedly receiving hand signals from his brother, um, but he said that he was told specifically that that was not a reason for his DQ. And I'm at least willing to say I don't think the hand signaling stuff happened, or that might be something a little bit overblown. But I think at the very least, right, there's like it's hard to say that that one has any credence to it, whereas we have maybe some more concrete, I don't want to say evidence, maybe not concrete evidence, but we have more of a way to kind of judge the riffle shuffle incident, right? There is video. It happened on stream, and the way that
Yeah.
he handled his deck before splitting it to riffle shuffle, and then after he riffle shuffled it, where he did his mash shuffles. That video is available on. I mean, it's available on quite literally just a stream rewatch. You can go and find the LEIC streams,
Yeah.
and go watch what round was this, Masters Top 4B, and you can literally go watch it. It happens around the 35 to 34 minute mark, starting just I would say start at the 35-minute mark and watch it for yourself if you're interested in, or you can go and find clips of the video online. There's going to be plenty of them. He takes his deck, he splits it. As he splits it to shuffle, he goes and a card kind of pops out. Now, some people have said, oh, he's trying to push the card so that he has the card that he wants, or he's not. I'm kind of inclined personally to say he might have used that as a way to push the card and mishandled it. But regardless of whether that's the way he handled the card or not, it just looks suspicious, right? There you have that, and then you have the way that he riffle shuffles face up, looking at the cards, and people were saying, oh, well, he's memorizing the deck, and he's saying, that I'm not going to memorize the order of my deck by riffle shuffling it and then mashing it 9 times afterwards. For me, it's not about necessarily the riffle shuffling it or the mashing it 9 times after. It's the fact that riffle shuffling it face up does give you the opportunity to kind of cement in your mind everything that you just looked through, which means that you're not, it's no longer at the point of fanning the cards out, right? Riffle shuffling is supposed to be, or shuffling in general is supposed to be, you're done with your search, you have picked a card, or you have done the action that precedes shuffling. You are now not supposed to be having any knowledge of what's in the deck, specifically beyond what you can remember from a search, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's already starts to rub me the wrong way with that. Then you have the fact that the card kind of coming out looks a little suspicious. The fact that the way he shuffles, if you look at it and watch it at full speed, it does really look like the top card of that deck does not change. And I think that's one of the biggest issues that I'm having there, is that, it's just another instance of trying to kind of stack the deck. And this isn't the first time recently that he's had an issue. We talked about in another episode a few weeks back, we talked about him supposedly, according to the accusation by Mateus, he untapped a Zoroark so that he could use it again, because and claimed that he hadn't used it. And that one was a he said she said, and the judge did not favor Mateus in that instance. But I it does kind of track, and we'll get to it in a minute, where he has had other accusations leveled against him.
And he's got a
And
history
I
of this.
am more exactly, and I'm more willing to believe someone who doesn't have a history over someone who does have a history, right?
Right.
That's the big issue that I have with it, really, is when multiple people who don't have a history of cheating are calling out someone who has a history of cheating. That's when we can start to say, okay, one time, sure, right? Two times, maybe. Beyond that, we're starting to get into the territory of just like, what's going on here?
Yeah, and I kind of want to jump in here. So a couple things. First and foremost, I think the card jumping out, maybe not that big of a deal. It could equal,
Right.
if we're going to assume that he is malicious, though, it's entirely possible that he is that good. But
right,
I'm not gonna talk about that because I didn't, that doesn't matter. The hand signals thing I can't speak to because I didn't see it happen. I didn't see the shuffle happen.
right.
And for those who are familiar with me, I am very familiar with card cheating. I've read the books on card cheating. They're on my shelf back there. I've got all of these cards right here. I've been shuffling cards since 2019, learning how to manipulate the deck. And in fact, when I saw this clip, I maybe shouldn't say this. I hope it doesn't get brought up. Because obviously but whatever. I practiced for maybe 10 minutes after I saw the clip and was able to consistently get a favorable card that I saw on the bottom of my deck to a point in the deck where if my opponent cut at a reasonable or average place, that card would be in my top 7 or the top couple cards after my prize cards were selected. Now, that was with 10 minutes of practice. And of course, the years of practice I have just as a person manipulating decks of cards. What this says to me is that if you have been practicing for a long time, it's very easy to do. Now, granted, this relies on your opponent doing a normal cut and not shuffling your deck, but we're not talking about the results. We're talking about the fact that you attempted to cheat, and that is the issue.
I think that is the bigger problem there, right? Is that it requires you to say, okay, well, or rather, not requires you, but it's going to be people saying, right, okay, but his opponent cut the deck, so does it really matter? Oh, his opponent shuffled it after he handled it. Does it really matter? It does.
Yeah.
It
not
does
every opponent will do that.
Made. Exactly. An attempt made
will do that.
is still an attempt at cheating. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and not, like you said, not every opponent's going to do that. Not everyone is going to shuffle or cut afterwards. Some people are just, I'm going to tap, I'm not going to bother with it too much. What you did looked fine because I couldn't tell,
Right. And here's the thing, right? You can't just these things have to be treated with hostility. Because when you allow cheating to exist in your game, what you're saying is, I'm okay with not the most skilled player winning.
Right.
I'm okay with the person who is not the best at the game, but the best at manipulating their deck with an outside means or method. I'm okay with that person who has just decided to circumvent the rules of this game. I'm okay with them winning instead of the person who's better at the game. And that is not a healthy mentality for this environment, for people who play the game, especially when there's this much money on the line. Let's not pretend that there's a small amount of money at stake or no stakes in this, that he's cheating at a game. It's no, dude. $10,000, 20. That was $30,000 then.
Yeah. This is one of the biggest tournaments of the year.
You wouldn't be okay with somebody cheating at poker. That person would be. People get their fingers broken for cheating at poker.
Yeah.
We treated Gabriel pretty nicely.
Yeah.
This is totally unacceptable. We have to treat cheating with hostility, and it has to be cut out from the community. Sorry, go ahead.
No, the way that you said that, quick segue. It just reminded me of the old anti-piracy ads. You wouldn't download a car.
Well, I would download a car personally, but
I would too, but no, but no, for real. This yeah, this he gets off much nicer than the way that other card communities might handle this, I think.
Yeah.
Like you said, like specifically with poker, that kind of thing will get you ousted from those kinds of communities very
and
quickly.
physically hurt, by the way, sometimes.
Yes.
Like, let's
Yeah, if you were caught cheating at like casinos and stuff like that, they don't handle that nicely. At the minimum, you're banned from
kicked
the
out
place
and banned from the casino
forever, and quite possibly having the police called, right? Potentially, because
at worst they don't get the police involved.
As right, exactly. Like they will sometimes they can and will involve police as a means of like, well, this is theft, right? You are paying money to be here to, have the chance to win money. If you're using, cheating techniques to actually win money, you are stealing, right?
Yes.
So, yeah. I think to the larger extent also with this, right? Someone said, online, we should handle this with, as people who judge these kinds of things online when we don't have all the information. This was before the permaban happened, right? They said that we should handle it. It's better to give the person the benefit of the doubt, and favor incompetence over maliciousness. And to a degree, I would agree if it was like a one-off thing, right?
But yes.
We discussed this a little bit beforehand, the show, right? If you go and you look at Gabriel Fernandez's Limitless page, he has first place wins more often than not. He has first place wins at all regionals that he attends more often than not, right? Now, that means in Limitless is like cataloging all of the day twos, right? I'm willing to bet that most regionals, or most of these regional events that Gabriel Fernandez is going to, he is making day two, right? And so I'm willing to say that every single regional he's been to is on his Limitless page, and that he hasn't been to other regionals that aren't there listed because I'm fairly sure would have made day two, based on the history that we know of him as a player. To me, that just solidifies, no, we should be heavy-handed with this approach, right? This is someone who isn't this is someone who is the expectation of like a high-ranked player. And if you're a player who is this prolific and you've gotten this much fame off of being a strong player, then you should be handled much harsher, because it just means that there's more credence to you potentially of having done this in the past.
Yeah,
to manipulate
it makes me wonder,
or at the very least, you are an example.
It makes me wonder how much of that prize money was because he stole or cheated. Well,
yeah. I mean, and it is, if it's cheating, it is stolen. In my opinion,
how long has he been cheating? And you actually brought up here's an article. This article comes to us from a really interesting source here. I want to talk about this. You brought this up. You looked it up a little bit.
Right.
This is an article
this wasn't a super deep dig, to be fair, but it did come up using some buzzwords. So
this is from WKKY.com. This is a country radio station. Does this say where this is from?
I don't know where specifically.
It's from Geneva, Ohio.
Like they're from
Geneva, Ohio.
Okay. I was going to say, yeah, they're definitely from Ohio, because they have some tags on their sidebar about being fans of the Cleveland Browns and Ohio jobs and some stuff like that. So they're definitely, they were definitely from Ohio.
Weather right here. So they've got their weather right here. This article comes to us from Olivia Richmond, who I guess did like some esports stuff, but Olivia Richmond cites two top TCG players. This article is called "Two Pokemon TCG Players DQ'd in Day 2 of NAIC 24." It's an interesting article. There's two players, but the second one on here is Gabriel Fernandez. The second player, quote, the second player to be accused of cheating was Gabriel Fernandez, who was in the top 8. Fernandez was eliminated at 10-3-1 when judges accused him of looking at his cards while shuffling. Fernandez argued against bot instances on X.
I think that's a typo.
I think so too. Fernandez explained that he was facing a Snorlax stall deck, which doesn't take any prizes. Snorlax wins by decking out the opponent, meaning once they reach 0 cards, Snorlax wins. For this, Fernandez only received a warning. After that, while facing Iron Hands, judges claimed that Fernandez was looking at his deck while shuffling during an unfair stamp. I was not looking at my deck while shuffling, he stated, and there was 0 cards I needed at that moment, and I was going to win simply by attacking, end quote. Now, this is again coming back up to you can't give this the benefit of the doubt. This is a year ago. This is last June, man. You can't continue. I would be fine if this was a first offense. But when you've got a high-performing player with a history of sketchy actions doing exactly this, looking at his cards while he's shuffling, you can't give that the benefit of the doubt anymore. You have way too much history, and we expect more from you. And you should know that we're watching you. Don't do this. You're not that good. You're not that guy, pal. You're not.
Yeah.
So
and to be warned in that instance and then to continue doing it, right? Like that's just, man, come on.
Come on, man. Be serious. All right. I'd like to move on from this. It's very obvious he cheated and that he deserves to be banned.
My last thought on it is just simply that, like, if you're a player who is looking to examples of what not to do, don't do this. If you even seeing
don't
the
cheat,
actions, even if you first of all, yes, don't cheat. But if you see these actions, even you see the shuffling face up, right? And thinking like, hey, man, it shouldn't be that big a deal. We're seeing an example of why it's a big deal. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Just take responsibility for the actions and don't do it.
Yeah. Just adjust, because look, here's how easy it is. Watch this. Here's a deck. All I have to do is not look at it. All I have to do is not look at it. All I have to do is not look at it the entire time I shuffle.
Yeah, if you have to stare
I will
at
never
the
get
ceiling
in trouble for this
while you mash cards together. If you have to
I'll
stare at the
never
ceiling.
get in trouble for this.
Mm-hmm.
It's so easy to not get in trouble while shuffling your cards.
Right,
I do it every day.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. It's as players, I think all of us have gotten a decent handle on being able to look anywhere but your cards while you're shuffling. I get when your deck gets low, right? Like maybe then it's like, okay, well, you know, it's hard because now you've got like 10 cards, right? And you have to like try to shuffle them together, you know, but there's always techniques to do, you know, low deck count shuffles where you just, you know, go do a quick you know, Hindu shuffle or something like that, you know, like there are ways to do it, you know, without that. But even in that clip, right, that was not a small deck. That was not a deck
was a full deck.
did it that needed to be handled and shuffled a different way. It was clearly getting mashed together. It was clearly riffled. Just don't do it.
Yeah, stop cheating. Call out cheating. If you suspect somebody of cheating, call them out. Call a judge over. Request a judge shuffle. We'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll do it. I don't care, man. Yeah, that's kind of it. I wanna move on from this and talk about some more positive things. Because it's almost time for us to wrap up and move on to our bonus show over at Patreon, patreon.com/terminalcreative. A couple of things, some VGC stuff happening. Actually, this is an important one. Signups for Toronto Regionals opened up on the 5th of December. That's maybe not something you're still able to do. But, here's one thing that we can talk about because this will be in time for that. Signups for EUIC open up on December 16th. Please look forward to that.
Exciting.
Here's another one that we can talk about in the VGC scene of things. The Dragapult, the Unrivaled 7-star Terra Raid Battle event, is now live in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. This will be available from the 12th to the 14th of December, and Dragapult can be used in regulations F, I, and J. So if you need a good, strong Dragapult, you can go get that from the Raid Battle. Obviously, some new stuff happened in Legends EA, but we aren't able to cover that at this moment. But The only other thing I wanted to talk about in the VGC things is I wanted to shout out our good friends over at the Cat Lyrics Game Corner Discord. They last night hosted a VGC tournament. I forget exactly what the rule set was, but it was a fundraiser for the Trevor Project. And their goal was $200. They absolutely crushed it. They raised $300, and I am so proud of them. It's a really cool. I jumped in the voice chat for a little bit while they were playing.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun to watch. I'm always trying to learn more VGC stuff. So definitely cool to see that. Very happy for them. Shout out the Trevor Project as well, obviously. So yeah, by all means. I don't know. Look into their stuff. I think their official Discord the link is like at discord.gg. Oh no, they went private recently, so I'm not gonna put that out there.
Yeah.
Find them. Look up Dunsparce and Drampa, and you'll find them.
Yeah.
From there, we've got a couple of quick job postings at LinkedIn. They're just a localization editor for European Spanish. It's a 12-month fixed-term contract. There's a program manager for business operations. You're bilingual in Japanese and English. And then a program manager, product and brand, bilingual Japanese and English. Actually, all of these are placed in London. So worth knowing about. I don't know what to glean from these things. It's not like as obvious of a job description for me as to like what that might mean for us, but noteworthy to be sure.
That might be. It's interesting. It's probably ways to bring the game maybe into some better localization. These might just be positions that have opened up recently that they need to fill back in as soon as possible. One thing that I actually I've learned recently. It took me a long time to learn this, and I didn't know it until recently, and it makes so much sense now when you think about it, right? But in Japan, so between Japan and South America, there is a large amount of Japanese and South American diaspora, right? With communities immigrating into and out of Japan from countries like Brazil and Argentina, and a lot of people immigrating in and out of Argentina and Brazil from Japan into those countries as well, and vice versa.
Oh, interesting.
There is a flow and a steady history of that. Not all of it is unfortunately not all of it's rooted in the nicest history of the world. But
so few things are.
Exactly. What does make it more interesting, though, is that there are communities of Brazilians and Brazilian Japanese people in Japan, and there's communities of Japanese and Japanese Brazilians in Brazil, and same with Argentina. Japanese Argentinians, Argentinian Japanese, so on and so forth.
Yes.
There is credence maybe to some of that then to say, because of the recent expansions with TPCI into Latin America.
They've been on a big Latin.
Try to kind of exactly, and to maybe try to kind of push for some better translations between various countries in order to accommodate language localization better. Portuguese to Spanish isn't 1-to-1, obviously. There's differences in the languages, but I think that, this idea of like, okay, well, maybe we can work on getting people who understand Spanish, Latin American Spanish, Argentinian Spanish, to then translate maybe to European Spanish, right? And that's kind of where some of this bilingual aspect, I think, maybe comes from, right? If you maybe know Japanese and you know English and maybe like a Latin American Spanish, you can translate that to a European Spanish or vice versa,
Yeah, certainly.
So that's kind of where my mind just kind of went with some of these recently, is like, there is a level of maybe like the translation that, it makes more sense to try to hire people who have those credentials.
Yeah, certainly. Very cool. Always cool to see what's going on at TPCI. I like seeing what they're doing. I love seeing the kind of work they do. And I think Powers actually talked to me. Like he really likes this part of the show, or at least that's what he said.
Yeah.
I have a lot of fun with it because
Yeah.
it's interesting. It's definitely something that no other show does, to see what's going on at
Mm-hmm.
like I want to at some point do an episode where we look at the Pokemon TCG Pocket financials, because their financials are public. So we should do a
Mm-hmm.
breakdown of that. Look into it.
Yeah.
It's cool to get that kind of perspective into the corporate side of these things, because like the games and the community and the organization are all one thing. However, it's still a
Mm-hmm.
company. You got to look at it. So
Yeah. It's
with
still,
that,
exactly.
let's move on to what we're playing and then get the heck out of here. Johnny, I want to hear what you have to say first, because I don't have very much. So I want to hear all the stuff you've got to say about what you're playing this week and over the
Sure.
holiday
Yeah.
season before we I'll do mine and then we'll go.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've been on a couple of kicks recently. A few kicks, I should say, recently. One, um, and this was before even Mega Evolutions stuff came out. I was already like trying to work on making Metagross work. Steven's Metagross is I love the Pokemon in general. It's a cool Pokemon. He's a big dude. He's always been a cool Pokemon. One of the first, I don't think it's the first, but it's definitely one of the earlier examples of like a non-dragon, like pseudo legendary, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's always cool. I think he's like the second non-dragon pseudo legendary. I think Tyranitar came out as like the first one potentially.
Oh, that's right, because he's dark ground.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'm like pulling that like just out of nowhere or if I'm like correct in that, but I believe he is like Metagross is like one of the first. Is the second like non pseudo or pseudo non-dragon. Sorry, non-dragon pseudo legendary. Anyway, yeah, so I like this guy. The Stevens deck when it first came out, not very good. It's just kind of was hard to get this dude into play. But with the release of the Black Bolt and White Flare sets, we got the Genesect EX, which suddenly just made this thing so much easier to work into. And then going from there, I think like every expansion since then has with the two that have come out since has given us kind of a little bit more, right? There's now you can use Mega Mawile EX and has like another attacker. He's kind of an in-game finisher. It's a way to handle a little more damage because Metagross only does 200. So now you got the opportunity to do 260 to a Pokemon that has no damage counters on it and kind of wipe out some of the big basics and stuff like that. You can also use that as a bit of a way to then like throw a lot of damage onto something and then clean it up later with a Monkey Dory if they punch damage onto you. And the Monkey Dory now works out really well with what we've gotten in Phantasmal Flames that I've included a couple copies of in this list is the new Jumbo Ice Cream card. This card, I think, is so fantastic for Metagross, right? He's already a big, beefy dude. 340 HP is a lot for a Pokemon. That's already 10 more than Charizard. And, people already have a hard time reaching Charizard. Throw in the fact that Monkey Dory slots really well into this deck, just being able to kind of like splash into a lot of decks nowadays. Because of the fact that Metagross accelerates energy to itself, it needs a metal and 2 colorless to attack. So you're pretty much with 2 of these guys on the board, you're guaranteed to always have 1 attacking, for sure. And then on top of that, you can throw the Hero Escape from you throw in Hero Escape as your ace spec, and now you've got a 440 beefy dude who, with 2 Monkey Dories on the board, you can heal 60 off of him a turn. With 2 of those Jumbo Ice Cream in the same turn, right? You're suddenly going to 160 healing, 80 healing per Jumbo Ice Cream. That that's crazy good. You can heal 220 off of him all at once in a single turn. That's a lot, man. It just kind of makes healing isn't a good strategy in Pokemon generally, but
right.
I think this is if you're going to use a deck to do it, this is the one. So this is it's just a fun deck. I don't think it's a good deck. I've been talking with people about it, and to me, it's what you would kind of call your best worst deck or best bad deck. It is a really good bad deck. It plays very similarly to kind of like a more classic way to approach Pokemon, where you're not always taking a big KO every turn in the current environment with this, but you're doing a lot of damage and you're kind of just controlling a general flow with your energy in this deck. You know, it's really easy to get energy in play. You're never feeling. I just don't feel like I'm ever in a bad spot with this deck, really and truly. You know, like certainly not a bad spot that is hard to control. So yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with this. Just a fun deck. It's a cool one. Outside of that, been enjoying the GLC on live. GLC hit the trainer trials on live on Thanksgiving Day. And it's active until, oh my god, they said 6 weeks this time. So
yeah,
there's a lot of it. There's tons of time to hit it up. Unfortunately, not everyone plays, so it's like sometimes it's hard finding a match, but it's still a lot of fun. I think the last day of it is the 7th. It ends on the 8th, basically, of January. Not this month, sorry, not the 7th this month. The 7th/8th of January is kind of like your last 24 hours. So
still another month at the time of recording this.
Oh yeah, at the time of recording this, still another month. At the time of people listening to this, nearly another month.
Yeah,
you know, you have tons of time. It's definitely worth it. Just to have some fun. And then lastly, for Pokemon wise, I've been playing Flareon Box a lot recently. With the rise of Kangaskhan, I have adjusted my list and I've included Hoopa EX in there, and Hoopa EX feels so good in the list. For such a terrible card, right? It's nice to see it kind of come back towards the end of its life cycle. It came out not really as a great card, but it slotted into Lost Box really well at the time, because you could use Lost Box with Dark Energy and use the Roaring Moon, and then it's like, well, we're dealing with, you know, Iron Hands, we might as well put the Hoopa in to deal with the Iron Hands, also the good match into Arceus. We're kind of coming back around on that, right, into the life cycle, and in the one of the more spiritual successors to Lost Box, Flareon Box, Terra Box, you know, those kinds of things.
Yeah,
Hoopa kind of gets to fit back in. So I put in a Hoopa EX, a Dark Energy, and a Luminous Energy in my list, to kind of Luminous, because I cut out a Lightning Energy, so I put a Luminous in to kind of like recoup that a little bit. Also because I don't want to. It's 2 attacks. It's got 1 attack. Was it Energy Crush, I believe, 50 times. For 2 Dark Energy, 50 times the number of energy on your opponent's or your opponent's Pokemon, all of them in play. And then its other attack, 3 Dark Energy, Bandit's Fist, does a flat 200 damage, and then it can't attack the next turn. Or it can't use Bandit's Fist the next turn, I believe is what the language on it says. I don't have it right in front of me. But I think like the reason why I was like, okay, well, I want the Luminous and the Dark in there is because then if you prize your crystal or your crystal's already been used, you can Crispin plus Luminous attach and still use Energy Crush. Or if for some reason you're playing into a Kangaskhan that is like a more control-oriented version, or one that's just not got a lot of energy in play at the time, right? You can go and use the Bandit's Fist attack if you get Dark Energy, Luminous Energy, and the crystal on it. And that way you don't have to rely on your opponent's energy count to kind of deal the KO there. So I think it's really good in that aspect. You know, it's been a lot of fun. It's helped me out in my matches on live so far, so I think it's a good inclusion. I'm willing to stick with it.
I'd say so. Yeah. I love Hoopa EX. I loved it in Lost Box. It's cool to get a little more love towards the end of its life. I think it's a cool guy. I like it a lot. It makes me want to make like a lost zone cube where you play like,
oh man, that would be
a lot of fun.
That would be cool. That would be a lot of that would be a lot of fun. Honestly, like making a cube out of like all the Lost Zone cards, all the Lost Zone mechanic type cards, and just seeing what people can kind of craft to like make something cool out of that would be, I think, a lot of fun. Because there's even with like X and Y, I believe there were a lot of really interesting Lost Zone cards. And then of course Prism Stars, right? Prism Stars like encompass cards that go to the Lost Zone that suddenly also are really, really interesting to use in conjunction with modern ones if you do like an expanded kind of format with that.
Yeah, totally. All right. Anything else on what you're playing? I see you've got Hades 2 on here again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just continuing to play it. I keep progressing further and further with it. Finally, recently hit the. Oh man, I've been pretty consistent in beating the Underworld final boss in the game. I'm not going to spoil it. It's Chronos. I know people like talk about like how they handle like these kinds of games. Chronos is the final boss. If you do the underworld route, but the game also has an overworld route that you can take on runs, which plays a little bit differently. And so I've been also making it up through the overworld. Was hardwalled a little bit for those because I just was like still solving my way through other fights and not having as much health by the time I hit like the third boss, which was Prometheus. Really cool boss fight, really cool character the way they wrote him for the game, because he's like just a dude with fire and he does a lot of fire stuff, but they also like lean into the mythos of like Prometheus being a titan of premonition, kind of like his whole shtick in Greek mythology is like being a titan of premonition, but also a titan that's kind of like a champion of humans, having stolen fire for humans and everything. And so one of the fun things about his boss fight is that at the beginning and at the end of the fight, the eagle that is like, if you follow like in Greek mythology, Prometheus, after stealing fire for humans, was punished by the gods, by the Olympians, for stealing fire, and was chained to a rock on a mountain face, and had an eagle that basically ripped out his liver, and was cursed to have it grow back so that this eagle would perpetually rip out his insides and hurt him.
Gross.
And so very gross. So in the fight, the eagle is actually like a partner that aids him for a little bit at the beginning and at the end of the fight, and it's really cool. And there's like to kind of tie in with the premonition aspect, there's like a little Simon Says portion where you have to play a memory game of where he's attacking on screen and stuff like that. It makes for a really fun fight. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there's like that, and then I've been making it finally to the top of Olympus, and then the fight there is against Typhon and the ultimate like monster titan creature. And that's just an insanely difficult fight. So that's kind of where I've left off with the game.
Very nice. Glad to hear that. Seems fun. I have been doing way less. I finally played my first challenge in a while. I played a very similar list to the Brisbane Charizard. And, dude, leaving Klefki active is so good.
Yeah.
It's too good.
Oh my god. Insane way to just control games.
Yeah, very good. That deck was really fun. It was my first time playing a Charizard deck outside of in Obsidian Flames format. I would play... There was like I played one set where me and April swapped decks, and I played her copy of Charizard, and she played my copy of Mew VMAX.
Wait,
that was it during Broken Zard.
Did you never play Broken Zard? Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, I just didn't care
Broken Zard was...
It grossed me out, so I never played it. Zard,
I hit a point where I played it where I was like, if you can't beat him, join him. And oh my god, Broken Zard is so much fun to play.
Yeah,
like, you feel disgusting when you play their deck, but it's so fun.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so this is my first time playing Zard since then. Nice. I had a lot of fun doing that. I went 2-1, just fine. But since then, I've been playing a favorite of mine in Zoroark Control. And this is a list that was, in our area, first kind of reintroduced by Hunter Hawkins at a Rally Squirrel challenge or cup, and he performed really, really well with it, utilizing the Ends Zoroark engine with 2 copies of Cornerstone and a copy of Ethan's Sudowoodo for a Retreat Locker. This is before we had Eviltal. But I combined that with the Eviltal and Petarant package with Monkey Dories, because sometimes you do want that fighting resistance, so you can trap for free. And sometimes you want the fighting weakness, so you can attack with a 1-prizer. It was really interesting. I've been having fun with it. I'm still refining the list. I think I want to put a Mochi in instead of Air Balloon. You've got a lot of mobility anyway, so you're probably fine. But Lily's Determination just makes Zoroark such a better deck. I can't imagine playing Zoroark without a Lily's Determination, because it's just so good. That card is broken. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I think I'm going to continue playing this, maybe until it's time to have Ends meta, with just End Zoroark all over the place because of the Zekrom coming out. It's a good deck.
Yeah.
I love it a lot. I'm going to be playing it for a long time. But outside of Pokemon, I have been playing a lot of the new Destiny 2 expansion, Renegades. They got me. They brought me back
That's
in.
Cool.
It's a really interesting DLC. It is heavily, heavily influenced by the world of Star Wars.
Ooh, that's fun.
They put a lightsaber in the game. And I was like, all right,
my God. Yeah.
I'm back. Whatever. You got me. So I've been messing with that. It's been fun.
So valid.
I've been having a great time with that. So hopefully, hopefully it won't disappoint me. I still got to finish the story. I've had such a small amount of time for video games. It's ridiculous. But just been having a good time playing Zoroark Control, playing Destiny 2 for the first time in a while, checking in on some old friends, playing the game. And I'm excited to continue playing these things. And I've been just having fun, which is a nice change of pace. So
yeah,
I don't know. That's all I got.
Absolutely. No, that's good, man. That sounds awesome.
Wonderful. Let's get out of here. It's been a great episode of N21FM Pokemon Podcast. Thank you. Let's, head out of here, say goodbye. Johnny, I'll see you later, I guess. Any plans for the afternoon?
Not too much. I think we're gonna hang out. I got Maggie over here. She's practicing her singing right now, I guess.
I hear that, yeah.
We're gonna hang out this evening. Cassie's got a Christmas party, so we're gonna pal it up and yeah, definitely do some tummy time practice, some hanging out and exercise.
Very nice.
Just a good old time with her.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
I'll probably have some leftover pizza, order some groceries from Walmart.
Ooh.
And
yeah,
I don't know, we'll do a little bit of cleaning. We've got some laundry and some dishes to catch up on because obviously we still don't have a dishwasher, and our laundry is not working out. So
oh no.
The new owner of our apartment or our house, the new owner is going to be closing Monday, so we should be able to finally get some repairs made. So that'll be nice.
That's
so
good to hear.
Maybe we'll be able to do laundry on our own in the near future, but that'll be exciting. This has been great. Thank you for your time, Johnny. Thank you at home for listening and watching. Thank you again so much to our Spotify audience and our YouTube audience as well. But those numbers on Spotify shocked me. So thank you all so much for coming out, listening, and watching. We'll see you in the next one. Make sure to go on to patreon.com/terminalcreative. Submit your inquiries for LDF and for us on the show. Take advantage of that free gift if you want to be included in the Patreon. Hopefully you'll enjoy the content and continue to support us. And continue to like, a comment, share the video with your friends. Obviously that stuff seems to work. So thank you all very much for all that. We'll see you in the next one. Until then, farewell. Goodbye.